Hello everyone, this is Bapamot. Welcome to another Homeworlds game commentary. This is between Fork of Nature and Lucky Cow. These two players were the winners of Group 3 in the Great Homeworlds Tournament 2023. And this is the game that they played in the first round of the tournament. I don't know who wins. Fork of Nature, I think, has been playing longer, so my money might be on them. All right, Fork takes a medium yellow Gemini. Lucky takes medium yellow Gemini. All right, so it's a small universe. Both players' homes connected to small and large stars. Fork trades for red right away. Lucky builds another green. Waits to see what happens next. Fork takes the last little green. Lucky, I suppose Lucky could spread out their greens. But they might want to trade for another color instead. I at least get very nervous in small universes if I don't have red for very long. That's what Lucky's done, got safe. Fork trades for a yellow. Lucky builds that medium green again, that small green again. Lucky needs to be careful that they don't do this when Fork has enough yellow that they could overpopulate Lucky's mothership. Lucky trades for a little yellow now, and it's a perfect mirror, though they've arrived at these positions in a slightly different order of operations. Fork gets their yellow somewhere safer to build, and so does Lucky. Fork gets a medium green, so does Lucky. And Fork now presses the green forward to a connected yellow system, so Lucky'd better get rid of one of those greens. Oh no, Fork changes their mind, trades for a medium yellow. Lucky spreads out the greens, doesn't want to get overpopulated, good call. I mean, who would just leave 3 green ships at their homeworld to get overpopulated? I don't know who would do that. Fork now spreading out the yellows. Sort of not exactly an empty threat at this colony. I suppose Fork could probably safely sacrifice that little red for the capture. But it's a little early to be losing your only red. I think Fork of Nature would probably rather not do that. Fork thinking about moving a little green out to an investment type star. Lucky builds the medium green, maybe? No, they see the shopping spree. Okay, they build the last of the greens, which gives Lucky Cow a factory, but Fork does not have one. Let's see what Fork picks next. Spreading out the yellows or a yellow shopping spree. Okay, I think that they're wise not to yellow shopping spree, since if you haven't noticed, the little green system is in fact connected to Fork's home. So Fork needs to be careful of building too much yellow at home here. Instead, they do a factory that combines into a green teleport. They don't end up with their mothership at home, but they did get 2 builds, and they got their large back, so this isn't too bad. But if Lucky had a medium yellow, this would be pretty bad. But they don't. So this is okay. Instead, though, Fork sacrificing the Y1 to move a yellow out to a red star. I don't know what that's about. Okay, let's fast forward to the actual move, and then we'll talk. Sacrificing the Y2 for the catastrophe. That's not bad at all, I think. Otherwise, Lucky Cow's got quite a material advantage. This cuts down their advantage by a lot. Okay, Fork commits to that move. Um, so Lucky Cow is now up by one small ship, and it's also Lucky Cow's turn. So I would say that Lucky Cow has probably played a little better so far, since Fork of Nature actually had the first turn, but Lucky Cow is now ahead by a couple of tempi. Some chess player or musician, I guess, can educate me on plural of tempo. Lucky spreads out the green. The Y3 star is sort of an investment as well. Fork builds yellow. Lucky builds yellow. The large yellows are available now. Ooh, Fork just building green. I think you ought to prepare to build that yellow. I think. Yeah, spreading out the yellows. I like that better. Lucky also spreads out the yellow. Fork gets one yellow, maybe. Yes. And Lucky should get the other. Yes, that's expected. Okay. So both players have been building up by equal amounts, sort of washing out Lucky Cow's material advantage. Fork getting aggressive on this colony. Interesting. I don't think either player really wants to spend their only red to capture here. Lucky gets an extra green. Fork, maybe Fork was just passing through. Bring their yellow back somewhere safe. Though little yellow, of course, can always just run away if it gets threatened. Spending 2 moves to get that back to home? Not sure that was worth it, but let's see. Okay, Lucky Cow is thinking about an early star demolition. Yep, it's a very tempting move, but it puts Lucky Cow behind in material. Fork will have a spare large ship. Let's see if Lucky commits. No, they destroy Fork's spare large instead, and spreads out their greens. So Lucky Cow, I think, is still ahead in tempo, but just barely. Fork has 3 colors. Lucky only has 2, but Lucky is spread out to 3 colonies. So Lucky, I think, will have a big advantage if they start pursuing green. Fork builds yellow, so Lucky doesn't have any yellow yet. If Fork manages to run away with too much of the yellow, Fork could still be in good shape. At a glance, I like Lucky Cow's position better. Fork takes a medium green. Lucky Cow can take a medium green. I would build that at home, I think, so that it's an instant factory. No, okay, Fork can't build that green, so they've got to spread out. Lucky, I'll see if Lucky had built that other green back at home, they could have done a green shopping spree that I think would have let them put greens in places where they would have been safe, or it would have been expensive for Fork to overpopulate them, I think. All right, Lucky, though, trades green for yellow, blocking the larger builds for now. Fork spreads out the yellow. Lucky spreads out the green even more. Lucky's going to want a green at their home so that they can do a shopping spree at some point, I think. Fork takes a green, and I feel the same way about Fork. I think Fork should be building that at home so they can make it a factory. Yeah, I don't like that thing Fork was hovering earlier, discovering the G2 star. That puts the G3 even closer to Lucky's grasp. Yeah, but neither one of them wants to build the G2 now. But Lucky could move the G1 back home instead of this. Okay, but they build the Y2, giving Fork the Y3 if they want it. Sacrificing it to build both of them? Ooh. I don't know about that. Lucky can overpopulate Fork's star, though it would cost them all the yellow they have. Don't think that's too high a price in this case. Sacrificing the G3 to make it a factory, rebuild your G3 and get a G2 and the Y1 and the Y3, that's pretty good, I'd say. Neither player wanting to get much of the red. We've had games like that before where nobody wants to get much red. Sacrificing the G2 instead? No, that leaves Fork with the same problem, overpopulating their home star. Oh no! Well, Lucky, you gonna take the star demolition? Yep. There it goes. Fork's lost a star, but is up by a large ship. But that may not be true for long, since Lucky's close to green shopping sprees. Fork thinking about getting aggressive right away, or trading into the yellows, spreading out the yellows. Alright, make up your mind, sir. There we go. Trades the green for yellow. Yeah, I think I like that. It puts the large greens farther out of Lucky Cow's reach, and starts to build on Fork's existing yellow advantage. Lucky trades for a medium green. Yeah, if they put that somewhere they can build, that would be nice. Although anywhere it goes to build, Fork can invade with a yellow, with their big yellow to threaten captures. Okay, Fork sacrifices G3. Alright, make up your mind. Alright, discovering an R1 star. I really don't know what the purpose of putting that Y3 there is. Nope, not seeing it. It lets Lucky Cow get a medium red. Fork of Nature gets one right after. But maybe they don't mind since Fork having the larger ship is going to let them take more advantage of the red. I don't know. Yeah, red for both. Lucky might even want to build another red just to tempt Fork to sacrifice their extra large ship. Maybe. No, never mind. I don't know what they should do. Spreading out. Okay. Yeah, spreading out the reds I think is not a bad idea here. But emphasizing the green advantage isn't bad either. Yeah, because it's dangerous for Lucky to put even two ships together anywhere except for home. Because Lucky's got no large ships to spare. Alright, Fork spreading out the reds. Yeah, getting aggressive. I think that's in Fork's interest here. Lucky going to ignore the threat for now. Just keep building greens. Yeah, Fork takes the green. That puts Fork in an equal position for building the remaining greens. So I think Lucky's lost the advantage they had. Let's see what they come up with now. Spreading out the greens. Fork builds red, and yeah, Lucky doesn't want to build one of those large reds since could get overpopulated. Fork building the G2 back at home. That gives them the factory. But Lucky Cow's got the factory too, and in fact, if they factor right now, they'll get They can clean out the green bank, and Lucky Cow catches up by a large ship. I think Fork of Nature stalled too long. They needed to put more pressure on Lucky Cow, force them to move their ships around, get aggressive in those colonies. They invaded Earth to capture a G1, but I think that wasn't enough. And now Lucky's gonna sacrifice Y2. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Destroys Fork's mothership. Fork's got the additional large ship. They can move home. I think Lucky is better off with the build, though. Oh, but not two in the same place. That's better. Yeah, and Lucky's got a nice yellow investment. They can use the green star to guard it. I think Fork of Nature lost too much time in taking advantage of their material advantage. And now Lucky is up by a star and pretty much even in material. So, oh well, they changed their mind again. Oh, they commit to the greens? No, I like the other better. Yep, I liked the other option better. But this is Lucky Cow's choice, and there we have it. Okay, so Fork builds red. That is the largest ship they can build, so that seems pretty reasonable. And Fork doesn't need to panic too much because Lucky has no yellow ships, and Fork can get their Y3 back home in one move. This doesn't look like a winning approach to me. Oh, well, okay. No, not so bad. Lucky spreading out their reds and creating a bit of a threat to Fork's Y3 at the same time. Yeah, that's good. That's good. If Fork doesn't react, Lucky can sacrifice G3, build a couple of reds in Hoth, and rebuild their red and R3 back at home, so they'll still have a mothership. And Lucky Cow will have the only large ship in the game, so Fork's got to do something about this. Oh, well, yeah, they sacrificed their green to build back at home. That works, but Fork has no green anymore anywhere. Lucky sacrifices to build the two remaining greens, and they've got one more build action. I guess they build a green? No, that's not too bad. I think Fork would just capture the red there, but then Lucky could move in another red. That would be okay. Trading for yellow? I think that if Lucky's not going to destroy this Y3 or threaten it, they should at least have built the R3. Am I out of my mind? I think Lucky's going to lose their yellow star now. At least if I was Fork, I'd be very tempted to sacrifice the Y3, move two little yellows into Lucky's home, and overpopulate. But Fork doesn't have... It's funny how lopsided Fork's forces have gotten. It's all at blue stars. They've only got yellow and red ships. Okay, capturing that little red, I think that's all right. Well, no, I think Fork should have traded a smaller red away to block Lucky from getting another large ship. Okay, Lucky spreads out the yellow. Still not interested in the big red, I guess. Fork trades for green. Yeah, so somebody's going to need green at some point. Yeah, so Fork is now poised to start building R3s. Is Lucky going to take one? No, just taking the yellow. So Fork now. Yellow shopping spree? Oh yeah, they had their yellows nicely spread out. Good one. Good on Fork. That probably is actually better than taking the R3. But... And so maybe this is what Lucky Cow was worried about all along. They wanted to make absolutely sure that they got some yellow before Fork ate it all up. So maybe they weren't so unwise to pass up the R3s. And Lucky Cow getting a little aggressive here. They're not going to get these ships, and if they sacrifice their red to capture, then they're not going to have any red left, and Lucky will be in trouble. This doesn't strike me as a winning invasion. Let's see, or as a wise invasion. Let's see what Fork does. Oh, just the capture? Huh. Yeah, if I'm Fork, I would not have captured. I think I would have traded my little yellow for another color. Because if Lucky spends their only yellow to... Or even Fork could have even moved their little yellow to another system, like Earth. Because Lucky's in no position to sacrifice to capture anything. Even spreading out Lucky's yellows didn't do anything for them because there was no yellow left in the bank. I really am confused by this invasion here, and Fork, I think, can really just ignore it, basically. Yeah, defend against the overpopulation, but that's it. Okay, so now Lucky sacrifices the G3. Okay, well, now it's a threat. As a blue ship, Fork definitely has to capture this. And now Lucky, I think, has just spent 2 turns moving a ship into Fork's home and then trading it for blue in order to give Fork a new ship of a color that Fork didn't already have, even did the trade for them. I don't like those choices from Lucky. Okay, Lucky gets their Y1 back. Fork trades away that blue for a green. Yeah, I think Fork... at some point, somebody's going to want to build those R3s, right? They're just sitting there. This is not the first game either where large ships have sat there being available, and both players have spent a lot of time doing things that I thought were much less valuable than building a large. If I'm missing something, please tell me. Lucky. Okay, Lucky does need to move their red. Oh, maybe that's why Lucky wasn't building the R3, because if they do, Fork can overpopulate it, and Lucky would have no red left. But by bunching up so many ships together, it's a prime target for invasion. And Fork is comfortable taking the only large they have out of their homeworld, because if Lucky were to invade, they would lose, because their mothership is their only home ship. I'm looking for something that Lucky could do to counter-invade, sending one of these mediums into Fork's home, but I don't think that produces anything. I think Fork is just way too far ahead in material now. Invading with the medium, that's not going to do anything, I don't think. Fork takes the big green. Okay. Maybe large ships have some value after all. I think if Lucky... I'm surprised that Lucky has fallen so far behind in material. Initially, I thought that Fork needed... When Lucky destroyed Fork's star and fell behind in material a little. I thought that Fork needed to act quickly to put the pressure on Lucky. But Lucky caught up in material, and then it's fallen way behind again. I think Lucky's only choice probably, well, let's see. No, okay. Now this is, I think this is a really strange choice. Well, no, not so much. Okay, I keep forgetting just how much yellow Fork has. I keep thinking that Lucky. All right, if Lucky had built that R3 at home all those times that I said they should have, then Fork, with their enormous material advantage, would have comfortably sacrificed a yellow to knock it out, along with Lucky's only red ship. And if Lucky did it now, it looks pretty safe. But Fork has got so much material, they wouldn't mind sacrificing a Y3 to move. So say Lucky builds that R3 here, then Fork has so much material, sacrifice a Y3 to move an R1 twice and this R1 once for the overpopulation, and Fork is still really comfortably ahead. So instead, Lucky spreading out the yellows doesn't seem like it does anything, though. I think, okay, I've spent too much time talking about the positions, because honestly, I think this is pretty much over. If Lucky can pull out something, they will be very lucky to do so. I said cleverly. Sacrificing the yellow to get things to safer positions. Okay. Fork now. Sacrificing a Y3. What are they doing here? Does this work? Yes. I was going to say initially that it wasn't going to work because Lucky has an R2 and Fork only has enough red to capture the 2 back that Lucky takes. But of course, once Lucky spends their R2 and Fork takes it back, Lucky has no red at all. So this is a winning invasion. Yeah, Lucky takes 2, Fork takes 2, and Lucky's in big trouble. And Lucky blows up their own home star for the resignation. Okay, well, yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of a lesson in the lessons I'd take from that are, if you've lost a home star but you've got the material advantage, you need to stay really aggressive. Make sure that your opponent can't use your loss of a home star to pressure you too much. But even though Fork didn't do that and Lucky cut up in material, Lucky then proceeded to fall behind in material gradually. I think they must have been choosing the wrong colors. I wasn't paying enough attention to exactly who was ahead on which color at what point, but I think my guess is there had to have been some poor color choices for Lucky, and my least favorite choice the whole game was Lucky had pretty much lost at that point, but Lucky moving that little ship into Fork's home just for Fork to capture it. But okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Except I forgot to praise these players. They're both strong players, and congratulations to them in moving out of their group.